what's up? Just got done at my house for the day. Buttoning up the flooring before I put the vinyl in, and when I got done cutting the small pieces to fill in along the strip next to the tub and all that, I realized I not only needed more screws to finish that, because generally most people use nails. I decided to use some galvanized decking screws, and then I've got to try and find some rubber cement. Some people might find it strange, about using rubber cement on a floor, but the intent of that is to paint it over each of the screw heads so they don't get filled with a bunch of shit and all that after the vinyl gets put on. And it makes it easy to find them and all that, because once everything's down, the rubber cement might become a little discolored or whatever, like anything else sitting on a dirty floor, but they'll be able to find the screws and then just peel back the rubber cement and unscrew it. But when I was putting that stuff in, I realized I needed more screws. I was like, of all things, I'm like a half a dozen screws from being finished on that part. And then I also realized I left the vinyl flooring. So I gotta go grab that and bring it back to the house so I can get that finished tomorrow. Get stuff done the best I can. I have to stay down here anyways till like Thursday evening, Friday morning, because I have to go get my MRI on my spine again, on the midsection of my spine this time, instead of like my neck and my lower back. They're doing it with the midpoint of my back, sorry. But I'm getting this stuff knocked out. I still have to get a hold of a couple of attorneys or whatever, because I have to deal with some property easement thing, because my shop, and I call it a boathouse or woodshed, but I guess it's a carport. When the original owner bought the place, he bought all that land, and then he had that stuff put in. Well, then the county and state subdivided the land, and now basically after that, and that was back in 79, so they did it right after he put in the shop and stuff. But they subdivided everything, so now it's sitting on technically somebody else's property. And even though the guy who bought that property already knew that the buildings were on there and they weren't his, that he wasn't buying the buildings or whatever, I still have to go through this big bullshit property, this big bullshit property easement thing. I didn't have problems when I bought the house, but I'm having problems trying to fucking get rid of the house. And it's because I'm dealing with Californians, and I don't blame them. Like, if you're not aware of the laws in another state, you don't want to be wasting your money on something to find you're going to get stuck with a bunch of shit. But when you've already presented all the proof needed to show that these buildings are legally there, they were grandfathered in, here's the fucking laws, here's when this shit was done, and they still keep going, it's like, I'm getting to a point, I'm burned out. I'm still getting shit done. I still got to get a hold of the bullshit attorneys to get this dealt with. The realtor's sitting there going, I don't know if the other owner will allow an easement. And it's like, the other owner already knew he bought land that had somebody else's buildings on it that were built there before he even bought the land and before that shit was subdivided. Like, they already acknowledged it. And so, it's just one thing after another. But we'll get this stuff done. Hopefully before the month's over. So I don't ever have to worry about this again. Because I realize for most part I don't really have anybody I can really call for help for a lot of things. Most people just stand by and watch. Now I should be getting my dog Masha back here at the end of the week. And her little paw print thing. I have her little ducky here on the dash. Said it online. I might be, it might be weird for some people. I don't remember if I said it in previous vid, but I'm one of those pet owners. I treat my dogs like people. They're fur people. They're my kids. They're family. They're my best friends. And so I do have my pets cremated and all that stuff. I don't, in all honesty, I don't want to bury my pets in a ground that I'm not going to be there to visit them, basically. You know what I mean? And so I finally find my final forever home, then I'll bury them there. Otherwise, I think, again, as crazy or weird as it might seem to a lot of people, I plan on my dogs being buried with me. So my casket's gonna probably be a little full. And like with my brother, I've been trying to... There's just so much shit going on. I haven't been able to get out and spread his ashes and all that stuff. And I end up taking him with me when I move. Then I'm just going to make sure that when I pass away and all that him and along with all my animals will be put in my casket with me and buried with me. I don't plan on being cremated. I don't want to be cremated. So, even if it means having to go and pay whatever I need to pay to have, say, like, a part of my property of wherever I move to turned into a cemetery. A little family cemetery. With a single crypt on it. And that... But... dealing with road construction right now, but I figured I would just kind of update a little bit. It's not super negative, not super positive. It's just kind of right there in the middle. Still dealing with a lot of bullshit, but I'm getting some things done. And Mr. Bear's been helping me get stuff done too. On Coda. You've been a good helper, haven't you, baby boy? he's my dogs are my best friends. And he's been one of my best friends, especially. He's Masha's daddy. But anyways, thanks for watching. I gotta pay a little more attention to the road and all that while I'm driving through this road construction. So try and have a good day. Stay positive out there even when things get difficult. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to be angry. Just find a way to break free from it so you don't get stuck in it. Later.